All right, so here we go. Take one. And welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Fantastic Exchange. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am. I've got not just one, but two amazing power couple that are in the multifamily industry, and they've got some great inspirational stories that I'm sure they're going to share with us. But without further ado, I want to introduce Rogger and Lissette Baez. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Guys. Great, we're doing good.
You hear all that clapter in the background for you?
Yeah.
I hear it. It's out there. Well, hey, so Rogger and Lissette, I'd love for you guys to introduce yourself. So tell us who you guys are.
Well, I'm Rogger Baez, and I am originally from Miami, Florida, moved up to Atlanta back in 2004 with Lissette, and recently have taken a leap of faith and moved to Houston, Texas, where I'm excited to announce that I will be starting a new job with Saint Residential as one of their newest managers at one of their properties in Katy, Texas. I'm super excited. It was definitely a leap of faith, but it was a leap that I believe needed to happen, and I'm excited that it did.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, Rogger.
Thank you.
Exclusive news here first. Rogger moves to Houston and he gets a brand new job today. So congratulations, Rogger. That's awesome. Lissette, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I moved here with Rogger. Well, not here, in Atlanta 16 years ago. And then we just recently moved to Houston. I've been in the business for about 20 years. And kind of I'm out of it now, but I'm looking to get back into it, so I'm excited. I'm really loving Houston and what it's gonna offer our family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Rogger, I love how you said that you guys took a leap of faith to make a change, to do something better for your family. I think that in of itself is so inspiring, to go from one city, Atlanta, to Houston, a place that you guys weren't familiar with, to make an opportunity for yourselves, for your family. I think that is absolutely inspiring, and that's exciting to hear. And Rogger, I'm excited for your news, and Lissette, I'm believing amazing things are going to happen for you guys as well. So
Definitely.
Hey, so one of the interesting things that I wanted to bring you two guys together on this Super Fantastic Exchange is that you guys are a married couple in the multifamily industry. I mean, how unique is that? Well,
Yes.
I don't know how unique it is, but you guys are doing it. And I'd love for you guys to share what it's like to be a married couple in the same industry.
I would say it's extremely interesting, but it's also very rewarding. And the reason why I say it's rewarding is because, when you're having a bad day, you're, having Lissette being in the same industry, she kind of gets it. Why, you come home and you're kind of like a little worn out, or it's the beginning of the month and you're like, it was just hectic the first few days because of rent collection or whatnot. It makes it so much easier, I think, being as a married couple, that your partner actually understands what you've gone through because they've experienced the same things themselves, and can kind of bounce ideas off of you and say, well, this is how we did it over here, and this is how I relieve some of my stress, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's really rewarding to have someone, that's in the same industry with you, because they can understand. A lot of folks that are not in the industry don't understand some of the challenges we go through, some of the obstacles we encounter. So to have someone that kind of has, walked the same path is extremely rewarding.
Would you agree there, Lissette?
I mean, I understand him. So we talk about everything. He understands that, being a manager, you're going to be on call 24 hours a day. They can call you at 3:00 in the morning, a building's burning down, you got to go.
Yeah.
And we both understand that.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for us and we've been married for a very long time. So, I mean, it's just easy for us to understand each other, and I don't get upset when it's a Saturday morning and I want to spend time with him and the staff is calling him all day long. Yeah,
Right.
I don't get mad at him, just like, do you? Take care of what you need to take care of. So it's an understanding. We understand each other, and there's a balance.
And I think that that's part of what makes, I would say, what makes our jobs that much easier is that you have that spouse or that partner that understands what you're going through, and understands that, you know, property management is not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job. It's a 7-day-a-week job, you know, 24 hours a day. You can get a call at any time. And to have that understanding and that acceptance makes the job that much easier, because that's one less stressor that you have to worry about.
That's really good. That's a great point. And I love how both of you guys are so on the same page that you get it. You get, you know, what each other are going through. And I think there's such value in having a spouse, a partner that, you know, gets it, understands, because, you know, multifamily industry is a unique species, if you will, of, you know, a career choice. It's an amazing career choice, but it's a unique species. And having a partner or spouse that gets it and understands and supports, I mean, both of you guys support each other and understand. I think that is so incredible. So, you know, if you're looking for a spouse or a partner, you know, and you're in the multifamily industry, you know, what an opportunity.
Find one that works.
Right, find one that gets you.
Right. No, it definitely makes it a lot easier. I will say that. I mean, again, what we do is not easy by any scope of the imagination, but it is something that when you have that support system behind you, makes it a lot easier to do your job.
Yeah.
You know,
that support
that
system
you don't have
is
to worry
huge.
about, like, okay, you know, you had to work a full Saturday, and that your spouse is like, well, why? They understand, you know, she gets it. She understands because she'll have to pull a Saturday sometimes too. So, you know, we get that, and that's so beneficial and to the success of our marriage.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love how you guys do this. And I want to kind of transition a little bit into one of the points that I love talking about is the things that inspire people. And in Rogger and Lissette, you guys shared family is one of the things that inspired you both. So tell me a little bit about why family is such an inspirational point for you.
Because, you know, a lot of things in life change. Careers change, friendships change. One of the things that's consistent is always family. You know, that's one of the things that no matter how, you know, whatever happens between families, you know, family is always family. And for us, you know, at least for Lissette and I, that's one of our biggest driving factors, is that we need to make sure that our family is happy as a unit. You know, that my daughter's happy. Like, for example, you know, us moving to Houston, you know, Julia back in Atlanta was kind of struggling in school. Now she's thriving. She loves it. She's like, you know, wanting to go to football games now, even though it's only been a little bit over a month and a half, but she's loving it. She wakes up in the morning without a challenge. And those are kind of the things that, like, are driving factors for me, that to see my daughter being so excited about actually going to school, which is very rare with a teenager. But to have that, to see my wife being so happy in this city, and actually enjoying it and kind of planning a future, looking for homes, you know, and things like that. That is kind of like at least for me, it's my motivator to say, you know what, this was a great decision. My family's happy. So I'm going to do everything I can to continue this happiness for my family. And that's what drives me.
Lissette, do you feel the same?
I do. When we made the decision, we didn't sit down, Rogger and I talk and say, we're going to sell our house and we're going to move to Houston. No, we all three sat at the table and said, what do you think about this? She was like, okay, I want to go. Let's sell the house. We just didn't think the house was going to sell
so fast.
And we were like, where are we going?
Yeah.
But it was a family affair.
Yeah.
We didn't make the decision and say, oh, because you're only 14, you don't have a say so. She does have a say so.
Wow.
And she is part of this family. And So we talk about everything.
Yeah,
And it was fair.
and that's one of the things that I think that as a family unit we pride ourselves on, is that we include our child in decision making. We don't just say, okay, we're making it, or like I don't say, hey, I'm going to make a decision and you're going to deal with it and she's going to deal with it and that's it. That's not going to work. You know, I include her. We sit down at the table, at the dining room table, and we will have a conversation.
And it's deep.
And, you know, and ask for her input, because it's important, because her happiness and her success as a, you know, growing adult, because, you know, she's 14 now, but, you know, she'll be an adult in less than 4 years. You know, she has to know that that is the foundation that was laid by her parents to, you know, for her future family to be inclusive in decision making as a family. So that's why family is so important to us.
Yeah, I mean, I love how you guys are creating a foundation and then also creating an example for your daughter for future legacy. And, you know, she'll take that example with her family, and then her kids will take that example. So you guys are really establishing an incredible foundation to build a legacy on for the future. So that's inspirational, to say the least. That's fantastic. So Rogger and Lissette, one of the things that you guys mentioned earlier when we first started talking was taking a leap of faith. And I love how you said you're taking a leap of faith, and that happens to be one of your other points of inspiration is faith. So tell me how that leap of faith and how faith is your inspiration in all the things that you do.
So a lot of the decisions that we make, again, you know, even moving here to Houston, selling our home, while we obviously had a conversation about it, we all prayed about it as well. You know, we're big believers. We haven't found a home church yet here in Houston. We'll be looking. But that's one of the biggest things that we believe in is prayer. You know, prayer, you know, gives us clarity, it gives us healing, it gives us a sense of peace. I know that when I first got here, you know, and looking for jobs, and, you know, in Houston being such a large market, you know, your resume is going to get saturated with a lot of other resumes. Yeah. So it's going to be really difficult to get a call back or get an interview. And, you know, I just have to put it all in God's hand and say, you know, God, I trust your timing. You know, as impatient as I am, naturally, I am super impatient. I literally am. Like if the movie doesn't load on Netflix fast enough, I'm impatient about that.
I love that Lissette is laughing when you shared that.
It's true. I'm very impatient.
I have to sit here
and
I tell them, you know, everything's gonna work out. We're not here by accident.
Right.
You know, we could have moved back to Florida, you know, where we're originally from. We have no family here in Houston. All we know are the people that we know. But we could have gone back to Miami, Orlando, because that's familiar. And I'm so excited. But he's so impatient.
I am. I'm very impatient. I'm not even gonna lie.
And he's like, it's gotta be now, and it's not. But he has to understand it's not in his timing.
Yeah.
And it's true, you know. And I wake up every morning and I go, God, you know, if today's the day, let me know. Give me a sign. And you know, God doesn't give you a sign; He'll just give you what you need when you need it.
Right.
You know, and so I had to and I'm still developing and growing and improving my patience. But you know, His timing is always right, and I think that that's one of the biggest thing in our faith is that, you know, we, especially Lissette does it a lot, is that she'll be kind of like she'll kind of reel me back in from my own self. And saying, hey, just, you know, trust the process. Everything will work out. Just, you know, it'll be this week. And sure enough.
There it is. It was today, in fact.
I told him, I go, you're going to get it today. I felt it. I go, it's going to be today. And he's like, it was like 3:00. He's like, nothing. I didn't see nothing today. And I'm like, relax. You know, it's going to be today.
Yeah, I kept on like refreshing emails.
He was so excited. I was so excited for him. So, yeah, he just needs to be a little patient.
That's all right. Hey, that's okay. Be careful. Don't pray for patience, because then you'll get that. So be careful with that prayer. But I totally believe that, you know, faith is also action. And I think both of you guys said it early on, is you guys took that leap of faith. I mean, that's an action towards your faith that better things are coming, and believing that you know, more is there for you, but you have to take that leap. You have to take that action to get to that point. So I think that's absolutely incredible. And the third point that you guys talk about of inspiration, which another point that I'm excited to talk about with you guys, is being of service in your careers and personal lives. So tell us a little bit about what does being of service mean to you guys?
Well, for me, I love when I was in management, when I was a property manager, I did a lot of giving back to our community, which food drives. We did a lot of different drives and just taking care of our community. My last property was it was transitioning from housing to being conventional.
Okay.
And so it was really kind of difficult to tell somebody that's lived at the property for 10-15 years, you gotta go. And just helping them try to find other housing and just helping them with food. And then COVID hit. So it was just trying to be of service of our community. When I'm able to volunteer for anything, I do.
Yeah.
I just want to give back. And that's something that we both believe in doing, is giving back to our community.
Yeah, with our church family back in Atlanta, we were part of the new member introduction committee, which was basically we would get up on a Sunday at like 6 o'clock in the morning, head to church. They would have a breakfast before, and
Okay.
so and she's a cook, so by nature. So we would get there early and we would volunteer with that. In addition to, of course, volunteering with the Atlanta Food Bank and food drives. I did a coat drive with a company once that I worked at a property that was lower income. And so the families that were there were 90% predominantly Hispanic. So they didn't have a lot of access to a lot of resources. So we did a coat drive in the office, and it was to the point where when we advertised it on and announced it on Facebook, even her family down in Miami got involved and sent us out, I think, 100 coats.
And they went to like Sears or whatever, and my cousin bought, I want to say he bought like $300 worth of sweaters.
Wow.
And he had it shipped to Rogers property. It was a big deal. My kids got involved at that time. My oldest must have been 12 or something like that. And then Julia she wasn't even in kindergarten.
I think it was like 4.
Yeah, she was still wearing pull-ups. So anytime that we are able to give back, we do try.
And then also to touch on that, one of the things that I also like to do at work as well is kind of just build my teams, encourage folks to, if I see a leasing consultant that's struggling, I kind of sit down with them and go, how can I help you? Rather than say, let me point out why you're not doing your job. Rather than do that, I'm like, I noticed that we've had less leases this week. What can we do together to improve that? What tools can I give you as a resource? Learn from me, let me help you so that we can both be successful. Yeah. And, I think that of being of service to your team, and not only just, when someone's struggling, but also acknowledging them when they're doing good. Yeah. One of the things that people really want to hear is, 1, their name, and 2, they want to be acknowledged,
Sure.
Even if it's a small win, if it's, completing so many work orders in one day as a maintenance guy, acknowledge that maintenance guy did that. That goes a long way. Yeah. And, it's just a matter of showing appreciation and being of service to those folks with you. Because for me as a manager, one of the biggest things is my team is going to either make the community or break the community, make me or break me. So what can I do as a manager to be of service to my team, to my residents, to my community, to improve that community as a whole?
Yeah, make it stronger as a whole.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I love how you guys, when you talk about being of service and the examples that you were setting, I mean, just for, the example of the coat drive, you guys established this coat drive. And then from that, so many other people, your cousin, was inspired to do even more and participate and serve as well because of your example. And Roger, you talking about, being of service with your team and helping them become a better leader by, supporting them and not punishing them. I think that is such a great way to be of service, to be a servant leader with your team by being there with them, helping them through those struggles and obstacles and everything. And that's an example. They see that and they'll go replicate that with the other people that they interact with. So I think no matter, and I love how you guys do that. I love the heart that you have for service. And people that have that heart of service will go out there and give more than what's expected. And then the other people will see that. That'll inspire them in turn to give more than what's expected and serve as well. So you guys are such an incredible inspiration all the way around. I love chatting with you too. I mean, it's so incredible. You've inspired me, and we're getting close to the end of our time. It's gone by so fast. It's hard to believe, but I wanted to give you guys both an opportunity to close us out with a final thought. So Lissette, I'd love to start with you. Do you have a final thought that you'd love to close us out with?
I guess just take a leap of faith. Even when you think that it may not be right, pray on it and just follow your heart and your mind. And I think everything will work out fine.
That's awesome. I love it. Rogger, what you got, sir?
What she said.
You're a smart man. I love it.
No, I definitely, again, touching on the fact that I typically am a little impatient. I think just being patient and, always believing in that things are going to happen right at the right moment. We all want, we're all in this where we want things right away. Whether it's on demand or Netflix or whatever the case may be, just being patient and understanding that God's timing is everything, and then that if you just kind of like pause for a moment, breathe, and allow yourself to just kind of embrace the process, that things are going to work out no matter how dark it may seem. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Amen. So believe that. Hey guys, I can't thank you guys both enough. I'm glad you guys are a power couple in the multifamily industry because you guys are doing so much inspiration out there. So thank you guys so much for joining us for another amazing episode on the SUPERFANTASTIC Exchange. And you guys go make sure you follow Rogger and Lissette on LinkedIn. Roger's got some, I've been following his posts for quite some time. He's got some incredible stuff out there. They're both amazing power couple in the multifamily industry. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
and
you so much.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Gregory.
And that's it. You guys did great. Yay!
Awesome.